Crescent City Steakhouse, a true neighborhood restaurant operated by the Vojkovic family since 1934. It is the oldest steakhouse in the city of New Orleans. Serving only hand-cut, prime-aged, corn-fed beef for over 80 years, Crescent City Steakhouse has become a dining destination for both die-hard locals and adventurous travelers who seek traditional, timeless New Orleans cuisine. Crescent City Steakhouse, 1001 North Broad, on the corner of St. Philip, in the heart of New Orleans.
Hey, don't forget my pimento cheese. Of course.
It's okay, I'll take it from here.
Hey, the guy get a seat!
For the love of palmetto cheese.
So here's the bottom line. Well, it's funny that you say that. Let me tell you. Good evening and welcome to Primetime Sports. Hey, I'm your host, Scott Alexander. We do this every week, but this week's special. You know why. Merry Christmas, everyone. St. Nick is around the corner. If you're watching on Tuesday, he's coming in a few hours. And if you're watching on Sunday, well, you got a couple days to wait. But LSU, they've been waiting for quite a while since they won that SEC championship game, and they've got a big one coming on. Remember 2011, they were 13-0 at this very moment, demolishing everybody. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. This team, very similar. Not only demolishing them on the field, but getting the awards in record numbers. We all know about Joe Burrow. He got that Heisman Trophy in the biggest landslide vote in the history of the award. Congratulations to Joe. And how about Coach Orgeron? So many people questioned when he got the job, and I'm just happy for the man from the Bayou because he deserves this. He's showing everybody he's not just a good recruiter, not just a good line coach. He is a great head coach, and he's proving it to everyone. Also, Grant Delpit, the best safety in the country. Jamar Chase, the best wide receiver in the country. The awards just keep going on, but they've still got a lot to prove because even though they're number one in the country, you got a couple teams that people feel are just as good at 2 and 3. Of course, that's Ohio State, Clemson. That's going to be a war. I cannot wait to watch that one. That follows the LSU game on Saturday, and that one's going to be played in Arizona. We all know LSU's playing Oklahoma in Atlanta at 3 o'clock this Saturday afternoon. It's going to be fabulous. But look out, man. Oklahoma has got a guy at quarterback that has been there. He was a former SEC Player of the Year. He's a national champion. He's a great football player. He just happened to lose his job to a guy named Tua. So he transfers to Oklahoma, and look what he does. He puts himself right in this Heisman Trophy. He was one of the runner-ups, obviously, to Joe Burrow. His name is Jalen Hurts, and what a fantastic football player he is. C.D. Lamb is a guy you're going to have to look out for as a wide receiver for the Sooners because that guy is back and he can ball. So if LSU can somehow contain that offense, they should be fine. But you shouldn't take this one for granted. Even that 13.5-point line, I know everybody thinks this is a shoo-in, but Oklahoma has been there many more times than LSU, and they're going to be ready to play. And you know what? We're going to have a couple guys today that have been there before. 2 national champions are going to be on the set at the same time from LSU. Both, by the way, had some stints with the New Orleans Saints as well. Skyler Green, we all remember the great catch against Georgia back in 2003. He also scored a touchdown in the national championship game against Oklahoma in that same year. Well, he's going to join us with his good buddy, Marlon Favorite. They're just a couple years apart, but Marlon won his title a few years after that, in 2007. And that guy right there is one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. Big defensive lineman, little wide receiver. They're going to be together next on Primetime Sports. Stay tuned.
Make no mistake about it, Life's more fun with seafood.
Oysters don't swim.
They do in butter.
What'd you get?
A little bit of everything to make everyone happy.
Acme Oyster House.
Life really is more fun with seafood.
Rock and roll will never die. It's old New Orleans, my oh my. Come on, baby, let's go rock and roll at the city lane. All night, let's roll, let's rock and roll. Baby, do the rock and roll. At the mid-city lanes, the home of rock and roll.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-653-9968.
Did you know that GMFS Mortgage is the largest independent mortgage company in Louisiana? Their 250 employees have helped over 79,000 customers make the dream of home ownership come true. They funded over $12.9 billion in loans right here in Southeast Louisiana. If you're ready to buy, build, or renovate a new home, or just need to refinance, call the company born and raised here, GMFS Mortgage.
Crescent City Steakhouse, a true neighborhood restaurant operated by the Vojkovich family since 1934, is the oldest steakhouse in the city of New Orleans. Serving only hand-cut, prime-aged, corn-fed beef for over 80 years, Crescent City Steakhouse has become a dining destination for both die-hard locals and adventurous travelers who seek traditional, timeless New Orleans cuisine. Crescent City Steakhouse, 1001 North Broad, on the corner of St. Philip, in the heart of New Orleans.
Hey, don't forget my pimento cheese.
Of course. It's okay. I'll take it from here.
Hey, the guy get a seat.
For the love of palmetto cheese.
Primetime Sports with Scott Alexander is underwritten by Task Performance.
Hey, welcome back to Primetime Sports. Hey, like we said in the open, this is a special show. LSU does not get to the national championship very often, but when they do and they win it, my new two guests sitting next to me have been a part of it. One in 2003 and one in 2007. Like I said before, one is named Skyler Green, and the other is Marlon Favorite, two of my favorite ex-Tigers right here. Welcome back
Thank you
to
for
Primetime Sports.
Scotty, hey, baby.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody. And these two are kind of close in age, but you're a couple years apart in school, and one won in 2003, one won in 2007. That's you, Marlon. Let's just go back to that year, 2003. We're going to show some video, man. I mean, listen, you gave me the biggest bragging rights ever because I came down to the Georgia game, and I lived in Atlanta. I brought 65 people, and if you had not made that catch, I would have been barked at the whole way back to Atlanta. Thank you for making that huge catch against the Georgia Bulldogs.
No problem. It would have been a long ride home for you.
It would have been, it was 5 years earlier, and it was a long ride home for them. But talk about that real quick, because that year, all of a sudden LSU started getting good in 2001, 2002. They started making a name, putting the fence around the state of Louisiana, and you were one of those people that stayed in state. You could have gone a lot of places. But talk about the magic of that Saban team in 2003.
It was just like none other. I mean, those guys on that football team were just, we played for each other, played with one another. The chemistry of that football team was like no other. I mean, it was just like, just a winning atmosphere all the time around there.
When did you know that year? Was it the Georgia game? Because that was a top 5 matchup. Like I said, Georgia was very tough. I mean, they had some guys. I mean, David Pollock and all that crew was in the David Green and all them. is that the game that kind of said, y'all, man, maybe we can win this thing, or was it earlier or later?
Most definitely, that game really probably set the benchmark for us as far as thinking national championship. They were one of the top teams, the top 5 team in the country at the time. We were number 5. I think they were number 3, if I'm mistaken.
Yep, exactly.
And you know, we knew it was going to be a tough game, but we just knew we had the advantage by playing in Baton Rouge.
Right on.
So we just had to go out there and just perform the best of our ability. And we went and had one of the best games. It was a close game.
Yeah.
But
that was a great one.
That catch at the end now.
The catch was the catch. I watch it all the time. The fans are going to see it here. I'm going to get to the national championship run because that's my favorite. That's the first time we've won in 45 years, first in my lifetime. But you know what? Before I get to Marlon, I just appreciate what you've done later in your career. You've gone to music, Pharrell Williams, everybody right here with the hat. Hello, somebody. I mean, you go by Skyler with just your friends. I know now. But Marlon, hello, somebody. You're having a great career in the media. By the way, Skyler's a football coach doing his thing, working with the youth and trying to get them scholarships, and I appreciate that. But Marlon, you work with the youth too. You train guys, and you got a burgeoning media career. I was fortunate enough to start with you doing games on the Game of the Week in 2014. But I've admired what you've done ever since. I'm a closet fan that just listens, and I'm just saying, man, I'm proud of you.
No, Scott, that means a lot. And, man, coming in the game with you taught me so much, and it's been a blessing. I talk about you all the time, man, for real.
All right, how much do I need to give you? Because Ronnie Lamarque, okay. Ronnie, by the way, thank you and Merry Christmas. Hey, about your team, the 2007, and by the way, Ronnie's going to sing a Christmas song a little bit, but 2007, that was another magical year. You know, as Les Miles said, we're the unbeaten in regulation. Remember, they got the overtime loss to Arkansas, the overtime loss to Kentucky, but you still managed to squeak in the national title and win that one. Kind of talk about that season in particular when you realized at the end when West Virginia got beat by Pittsburgh that y'all were going to be in the national championship.
Well, first we got to give Skyler and them their props, man, because them winning the 03 national championship really helped build our recruiting class going into 04 and 05. So in that 07 season, when it came around, we were already seasoned. Right. We felt like really 06 we should have won it all.
Had some guys in the stable already.
We was already in the stable, man, you know, and that was the attitude of that team, you know, guys like Glenn Dorsey, Matt Flynn, you know, the list goes on. But what I remember about that team is no matter what happened, we made sure that we persevered through it all.
Right.
Like you said, those 2 overtime. We know we couldn't control our destiny. We could only control what we control. And then that's just finishing the rest of the season strong, going into the SEC championship, winning it, and then getting the announcement that we're going to the national championship was beautiful.
It was unbelievable. Once again, that game was in Atlanta, Tennessee, and before the national championship. You had to win that, but 6 other things had to happen. And then the biggest thing was after the game. All my friends went out. Of course, they came in from Louisiana to party in Atlanta, but I said, I am going home and watching Pittsburgh, West Virginia. And they're like, you know, it's a 30-point spread. There's no way. I said, it's a backyard rivalry. I'm going to watch it, give it a shot. And sure enough, Pittsburgh should be getting Christmas presents.
Time was on our side.
On our side. By the way, I want to talk coaches for a second because I believe you played, didn't you play your whole career under Saban at LSU?
3 years.
3 years. And you had one with Miles?
One with Miles.
So you both had both of them.
Yes.
All right, and you played the opposite. You played like 1, maybe 2 with
I did 1 with Saban and 4 with Miles.
Okay. So how'd you manage 4 with Miles?
Well, my red shirt year.
No, I meant how'd you handle it with Miles because I worked with him on the road at Fox. He's crazy.
He's funny.
I mean, I love him, but he's crazy.
Marlon. No finish. But all honesty, man, Coach Miles was very mellow, especially once we got to our junior and senior years. He had so much trust in us. He knew that we could get the job done. We could be the leaders on the team, and he put all his eggs into that. And just his bravery on a lot of before we came on there, we talked about the Auburn game.
Yeah.
The catch, right? Putting it all on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by Demetrius.
Yeah, we're like, I'm like, kick the field goal. And it's like 10 seconds, one down, and he throws a bomb. And I'm like, if he misses this, we're going to lose.
Yes, it's gutsy,
His
right?
gamble's paid off a lot of times.
It really did. It really did. So I just thought all together, he knew he had a special group of guys. He knew that he had guys that loved the state, loved Louisiana. And we just went into that season like, hey, we knew because like the way we looked at that is 06 we were supposed to have it, right with Jamarcus and Laurent and all those guys.
Even I thought in 05 we thought.
Even 05. Well, that was the Katrina year. I remember your senior year and the Tennessee.
I mean, I thought y'all should have had them all. I'm a little disappointed.
But no doubt that season was pretty good too. And when we beat Miami in the Peach Bowl
in Atlanta, 40-3.
Yes,
that was the source of pride for me. I love that, man.
That was kind of
you beat him on the field, and then you beat him again in the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
And you beat him good. But hey, real quick, I got to put you against each other. 03 team. Could they beat the 07 team?
Most definitely.
Are you sure? Could the 07 team beat the 03 team?
The reason why I say this, all right, we got. They had an outstanding defensive line.
See, I knew you were going to go there. I knew because I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say Chad Lamarque, Marquise Hill, Marcus Spears.
We had a great defensive line.
If you didn't say it, I was going to say it.
We had a good defensive line.
That's crazy because I was going to bring it up if you didn't. So that defense line, I mean, other than Marlon, they were pretty good, right?
Yeah. But they were good.
I'm joking. He was great.
No, I got to give Glenn his props, man. Glenn
Dorsey.
Yeah, he handled his
Tyson
Jackson.
How many superstars are on these lines?
You know what I mean?
Man, what a depth in recruiting then, man. We was able to get a lot of five-star guys
Unbelievable.
in. You know, you're rotating in Al Woods, Drake Nevis,
who's still
playing. Yeah.
We're going to go to break, but I want to say this. I remember introducing Saban at the Atlanta Touchdown Club, which is a big deal. They have like 1,000 people. And the first thing he said was, we put the fence around Louisiana. All these people are going to Nebraska, Florida, Michigan, Notre Dame, and they most all stayed. And you know what? Louisiana's got the best talent per capita in the country. I've always said it, and I truly believe it. And y'all both proved it. We're going to come back with these guys because I want to do some comparisons with this great team right now in 2019 with Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy winner, leading the way. Could they have beaten this team? We shall see. Right back on Primetime Sports.
Hey, don't forget my pimento cheese. Of course.
It's okay. I'll take it from here.
Hey, can I get a seat?
For the love of palmetto cheese.
Did you know that GMFS Mortgage is the largest independent mortgage company in Louisiana? Their 250 employees have helped over 79,000 customers make the dream of home ownership come true. They funded over $12.9 billion in loans right here in Southeast Louisiana. If you're ready to buy, build, or renovate a new home, or just need to refinance, call the company born and raised here, GMFS Mortgage.
Rock and roll will never die. It's old New Orleans, my oh my. Come on, baby, let's go rock and roll at the city lane. All night, let's roll, let's rock and roll. Baby, do the rock and roll at the mid-city lanes, the home of rock and roll.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-653-9968.
yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, those happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, they gather near to us once more. Through the year, we all will be together, if our Savior allows. Hang his shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hey, welcome back. I wish this show was still an hour. Pharrell Williams right here. No, Skyler Green, we know who he is. Some of the greatest plays in LSU history. The touchdown against Oklahoma in the championship. My man Marlon Favorite. Man, I remember in high school, this guy was rapping back then. I was talking about him on our show, Countdown to Signing Day. But guys, you think back, you're watching this team right now and what they're doing, the Magic. 2011 had the same thing. They didn't finish the drill, but do you miss it? Do you miss it?
I miss it a lot.
I mean, do you miss being on that field? Do you wish you back there?
I wish I was back there. Being the #1 punt returner in the country in 2003.
Yeah.
And every time I got a chance to return the ball, I just wish I could have that.
Florida. I remember that one. Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that was,
Yeah.
but that was a long return, 80 yards. By the way, one thing on that, do you think you could have done some damage in this wide open Joe Brady offense?
Most definitely. I probably went crazy.
If you hadn't seen any highlights of him, you better ask somebody or hit that Google machine, because just Google it up. You'll see some. Marlon, I know you're like the Hall of Famer for the voodoo. You've been with like 20 NFL teams. You got lucky to get the Super Bowl ring. Not lucky, but at the right time, the right place. And this one was unlucky because he was on the team in training camp and preseason.
True story.
But, do you miss it too?
I miss it, man. What does help is broadcasting, going out to LSU Network, Sports Network, doing that with those guys. So I'm back spending time in college, and then just training the guys with Skyler too, kind of help us stay in the game. Like we feel like we have to do that.
Yeah.
Just to be around it. So I mean, we love the game, man.
And I think just being around it a lot still.
Yeah.
Know?
So
coaching. It's still like I feel like I'm in it. Even sometimes I get out there and run the routes for some of the wide receivers.
How fast? What you think right now?
Right now?
You're still fast. I know that.
Yeah,
35 is not that old.
4 or 5.
Hey, now keep it real.
Serious.
Keep it
that's
real,
serious.
Steve.
No, I believe you, 100%.
He timed me. What was my 40 when we ran it with? 2 years ago?
Probably 2 years ago. You went 4.9.
Hello, somebody.
Yep, about 340.
He went 4.9.
You always had some quick feet.
Yeah, he was always big, quick guy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, I have to ask this question because it gets asked. I mean, these national champions, you hate to compare, but I'm going to do it.
There you go.
Do you think this team, just think about the strengths of both teams. How do you think they would have measured out? You've already bragged about that defensive line, and rightfully so. Could they have gotten to Joe Burrow?
They possibly would have got there a few times, but I think Joe would have done his thing. You know, you saw the move he did in the Georgia game,
goodness,
SEC
man.
championship.
I mean, how unbelievable
making
was
a guy
that?
miss 2 times.
I immediately chalked that up as number
Justin
one.
Jefferson. I mean, I think he makes the plays that we all want to make in our minds right now today.
Your team,
on the football field.
Joe eclipsed the quote that I love from your team, Marquise Hill, De La Salle representing.
Marquise,
may
my
rest
man.
in peace. He made a comment after hitting the quarterback, Jason White. In the first set of downs, knocked him out. Excuse me, Mr. Heisman, but we're going to be bumping each other a lot today. And they did. I think Oklahoma had like 65 yards going into the last 8 minutes of the game. But the other one, Joe Burrow, Miami, they're taunting him across the line. They're saying, you stink. You're a second has-been. You couldn't even make it to Ohio State. We're going to kill you. He goes, hey, I'm wearing number 9. Come find me. That's my favorite. But talk about your team in 2007. How would they have fared? I mean, what kind of matchups do you think they would have had?
I mean, honestly, the way this team attacks offensively, it'll be tough. This is a really good attack offensively. The weapons that they have, particularly at the receiver position, is off the chain. And I was talking with Brandon and Hunt a few weeks ago. I compared, you got 1958 Billy Cannon. That was our first national championship. That is engraved, right? You guys had to split with USC. We won it outright, but we lost 2 games. In 2011, they had a perfect season, but they lose the Natty.
Right.
This team here has a chance to go down as the best LSU national championship.
You had to bring up the split, man. I mean, I have a lot of USC friends. I don't recognize their split. Because we had the crystal ball correct.
I was a little ticked about that because those guys earned it. Y'all only lost 1 game. You know,
so champs. I mean, it is what it is.
It's crazy, yeah.
So you're this game coming up. We don't know, obviously, in the final. I think a lot of people are just assuming. But listen, Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. This is going to be who can outscore the other. Can LSU's defense play as well as they've done the last couple of weeks? I'm going to start with you because you follow them on a daily basis. This team against Oklahoma, let's talk about the matchup coming up Saturday since it's Christmas Eve. How do you think it's going to go? I mean, how do you think this game's going to go out? I mean, is it going to be any defense played at all, or what you thinking?
I think right now the way LSU's defense is playing, it's going to be tough to be productive on them. We're getting a better rush from up front with Caleb Warren, Shats on those guys. The linebackers.
So you think it's tough for Oklahoma to do?
It's going to be tough for Oklahoma because our and look at how Derek Stingley's playing. Look at Fulton on the end. I mean, we have 2 men. We have the speed to keep up with the CeeDee Lambs of the world, and then our offense is literally unstoppable. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. But I think LSU still wins by at least 2 scores.
Yeah, I think they win big.
Do you really?
I think they
win. And if they match up against Clemson or Ohio State, I'm kind of running low on time, but which team would you prefer to play and why?
Ohio State. Maybe because talent-wise, we kind of level up with them. Right. Even though Clemson is probably a little more dominant. I think Clemson is pretty much like a SEC football team.
2 different quarterback styles. One is going to be a prototypical NFL quarterback. If he was out now, he's got to wait another year for the draft. He'd be number 1. The other one, exciting. Justin Fields, phenomenal player. If you haven't seen, he can do it with his legs and his arm. And you got a great running back. What do you think about the matchup if it comes to that other national championship against one of those 2 teams?
I mean, I would rather Clemson. I think with the way they've been talking all year and saying that they deserve to be in the spot, I would rather Clemson. I think that would be a better matchup.
You know what I'd rather do? Give y'all some place to eat. I know you both like it. We'll give you a little bit. It's Christmas. Give you a little extra. Give you a little extra, everybody.
Thank you, Scotty.
I'm going to give you 2 VIP rugby tickets to the opening game at the Shrine on Airline. We're going to be calling that the Gold Mine on Airline.
Yeah, you're right.
And, and there you go.
Appreciate the shirt.
Task performance, everybody.
Shouts out to Task.
And we're
Shouts out to Task, man.
The first time ever, I'm putting a purple pen. I got 12 of these balls. I've never let anybody sign purple. But you find a spot on here and give me a Skyler green and give me a Marlon favorite.
Yeah, you're right.
I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And go Tigers, as they say. Hey, national championship game coming up on Saturday. We'll see you again next week right here on Primetime Sports. There you go. Well, it's funny that you say that. Let me tell you.